I think Is This Goodbye Charlie Brown addresses a really important topic, and I think the narrative is very well done. But I found this one to be maybe just a little bit too depressing compared to the average Charlie Brown cartoon. I did enjoy it, but I watched Charlie Brown to escape, like a lot of us do with films, and they're usually a lot more funny and quirky and cute and full of humor. This one I felt was a little bit more sorrowful. So it worked. It absolutely worked. I think it set out to do something and it achieved it, but it's not what I personally look for in Charlie Brown. This was released in 1983. It's directed by Phil Roman and written by Charles M. Schulz. And Linus and Lucy have revealed that they are moving away. Now, if you've seen any of the contemporary Charlie Browns, it's not a big deal. But obviously this means that people are having different emotions, that their friends are leaving them, and some people realize that they maybe weren't the nicest with them. And it's all about the various feelings that they have and the different responses to this. And the reason I think that this is a really great subject matter for anybody of any age, but particularly for children. Obviously, children move around wherever their parents need them to go, and often children will leave a school, leave their friends behind, and it's such an emotional thing. I was the one doing the leaving. I was always the one doing the leaving. But honestly, it's really difficult. And when you become close to your friends, then you have to leave. It's hard. And there are all kinds of emotions, and this is what we get here. And I think it handles the subject matter very well with a narrative that is engaging and quite decent. As I said, though, it's not what I personally look for in Charlie Brown. That's not to say I didn't like it, but for me, it was lacking that quirkiness that Charlie Brown often has. But there were still some great lines. The characters were really great. Everything felt believable. The development of the narrative is great. It's very well animated. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. If I were to rank it on my list of favourites, it would come low down because it didn't leave me with that fuzzy feeling that Charlie Brown cartoons usually do. But again, that's a me problem rather than anything wrong with the cartoon. There are a couple of other Charlie Browns that are, I feel, quite as depressing as this one. I guess it's more so depressing if you can relate to those feelings and you can understand them and you're reminded of those feelings. Maybe if you can't, connect with it in that way, that's a very good thing. And maybe it won't be quite as depressing if that's the case. So I'd be very keen to know what you think of it, what perspective you're coming from. It probably is one of those that's a different experience depending on your own viewpoint. But either way, it is a very good cartoon with a great narrative structure, great cast of characters, very well animated. It's just not as warm and fuzzy as some of them.